Hello. Have you ever felt that things have just gone totally wrong? It's all gone a bit Pete Tong. How about when little things go wrong and it just adds to your frustration? And why does something always seem to go wrong and cause more work when you're already under pressure from having a full plate? Think about, for example, a house move, especially one which you've bought a place and you have to furnish it. There's plenty of opportunities for things to get really frustrating. Loads of things that need attending to, sorted, organized, etc. The cost starts adding up too, and that adds to the stress. But that's exactly where we have been recently, until a large can of black paint tipped over inside a closet. And when the closet opened, it popped open like an egg all over our white bedroom carpet. Fun stuff. I panicked and I spent the whole Saturday evening trying to find somebody in the middle of lockdown who could come and treat it or maybe clean it, but it was no use at all. It caused a great deal of stress. It seems a bit silly now that I'm talking about it like causing stress. It's just paint on a carpet, but I'll show you in a minute. It's quite a lot. We were both, Ashley and I were both livid because it was me who touched the paint last inside the closet before it tumbled out. So I felt like it was me who was to blame. And at the time, neither of us were laughing about it. Very next day, I went out for an errand, something or other, and when I returned, there was a big blue stain in the middle of the black stain. Turns out while I was away, Ashley had done the same thing, and there would have been a giant paint spill no matter what. And so we laughed and we laughed and we laughed about it. I'll show you that carpet in a minute. But it reminded me about a well-known phrase. The phrase is, no use crying over spilled milk, or in this case, paint. No use crying over spilled paint. And I reflected in the coming days about that and how I was so frustrated at myself, only to find that I was laughing the very next day. But it reminded me too about those cycles that we all face, about joy and sorrow, cycles of joy, cycles of sorrow. Because there's times when we don't laugh the next day, or the week after that, or even the month after that. We all face situations and we go through difficult times when all we can do is cry. And all we can do is throw ourselves at God's mercy. So I'm going to show you the verse for today, but first I'll lighten the mood a little bit by showing you my carpet. Right. There it is. That's my carpet. And actually just yesterday we had a guy come out to try to look at it and see if it could be clean, and he laughed and he said, this is the worst paint stain I've seen in 10 years. And he just said, I'm going to save you the 50 quid. I'm just going to walk away. So I think what we're going to be doing is stripping the carpet and maybe looking at some hardwood floors. So anyway, that's our carpet. And here is our verse for the day. I can find it, find out how to do it. There we go. It's Psalm 56:8. You keep track of all of my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. Because it's such a short verse, just focus on that for a minute. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. Sometimes when everything has just gotten to be too much, you can't even talk about it to another human. You can't express it in those times. All that we can do is cry out to God. And God wants us to come to him with our struggles, with our difficulties. He doesn't expect us to struggle on our own. He doesn't expect us to be strong on our own. He's our Father who looks out for us. He wants to be our refuge. He wants to be our stronghold. He is our rock, and he can be if we will let him. The psalmist says, you keep track of all of my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. It's important to him because we are important to him and we matter to him. How precious is that? When it seems that nobody else cares, nobody else sees or notices, remember that God does. He reminds us that while we may feel we're alone, he's actually right there with us. He does not and will not desert us. I can encourage you to remember his faithfulness today. Remember his past faithfulness in your life. Remember that when there's moments of struggle in your life that you're not able to laugh the next day, or the next week, or the next month, just remember what the psalmist says. He keeps track of all of our sorrows. He has collected all of our tears in his bottle. He has recorded each one in his book. He knows all of those struggles and all of those sorrows. And he's with us every step of the way. I hope that's of some use to you.